Hey there, it's Chantal here again with another video on the power of time off and how you can take one. You know, statistics show that in the past 2 to 3 years, many more people are beginning to see the need to slow down, to take breaks, reflect over their lives and make better decisions before they move forward. However, we still live in a culture that generally celebrates life on the fast lane. And so it equally has its own expectations as to why and when and how you can take time off. When we begin to feel that we cannot meet up with those expectations, we tend to shy away from taking time off, or we go about it the wrong way, and then we come out of it with no results, and then we feel it was a waste of time. But a sabbatical break, taking some time off, is not something you should come out of empty-handed. I just came out of a short break myself, and I must say it was life transforming, and it can be for you as well. But before you jump right in to say, oh, I think I need some time off, I think I need to go on a sabbatical break, there are some things you should keep in mind. Last week, I shared some benefits, some beautiful things that came out of that time off. I'm going to leave a link to that video in the description box below, and I highly recommend that you check it out. But there were equally some pitfalls that I should have avoided, some things that I will do differently the next time I take some time off. And so in today's video, I just want to pull from the good, the bad, and the interesting things that happened during that break to bring to you 5 things that you should keep in mind, 5 things you should consider before taking time off, before going on a personal sabbatical break, so that you can come out of it recharged, re-energized, and ready to pursue your dreams with more clarity and from a place of balance and rest. The first thing to consider is your why. This may sound so obvious and maybe even cliche, but it's something that, if not well stated, can affect how you go about your time off and its outcomes. But for you to be able to state this honest why, you have to first of all deal with all the myths and the misconceptions about a sabbatical. One of them is, I don't deserve time off if I'm not completely burnt out. For my sabbatical to be effective, or for me to even call it a sabbatical, I must withdraw from the world and live in solitude or travel to some far land. I can only take a break from something I do not love. YouTube is one of the things that I took a break from, yet I love it here. I say this because if we do not watch out for these myths, we may find ourselves fabricating some why to tell ourselves or others for fear that we may be judged. We often find ourselves wondering, what justification will I give to, say, my boss, my friends, my family for this time off if I do not say I'm experiencing a complete burnout? How will I prove that it was a sabbatical if I do not pull away from the world, go live in isolation, away from everybody, or just travel to some far distant land? Yes, I did travel far away to my home country, Cameroon, where I haven't been in years. But this only took a little portion of my complete break time. We equally battle with the fear of, how will people take me seriously if I take breaks from something that I love? You know, people would cheer you on if you walk away from something that you do not like, because it takes courage. There are so many people who are stuck in things and places that no longer serve them. But it equally takes a lot of courage to take breaks from something that you love, you're passionate about, and which is working. Because people will judge and make fun of you, saying, look at this one, trying to take the easy, risk-free route. You're a coward, you will lose credibility, you are going to, people will lose interest and move on, and you have all these voices in your head that will make you kind of pull back from taking that break, or you would go about it in a way that meets somebody else's expectations. And this is one of the pitfalls that you should really watch out for, you know, not having a why or an honest why. That's something I battled with at the beginning of my break, because sometimes these voices are not external, they're internal. It is you telling yourself and doubting all these things. I was like, taking a break now from YouTube, what's going to happen with your channel? You know, Mr. YouTube algorithm is going to come for you. And some projects that I kind of also said I would kind of put them on hold, I was like, this does not look good. You have to finish up this thing. I know that there are times that it might not be the right time and the right season for a break, but if you know that everything within you is signaling that you need that time off, you need that break, you have to look for that solid why and go for it. The second one is to have a plan. Have you ever had a day off from work and at the end of that day you feel like it was wasted, you neither rested nor did anything productive, and you start to feel like, oh my goodness, I should have rather just stayed at work and make some money? In the same way, we kind of just jump into sabbaticals without a plan. I know you probably took time off because you wanted to move away from anything that is super structured and rigid, but this is nothing rigid. Just come up with some ideas of what you want to be doing during that break time based on your why, and then create some structure around how you plan to pull it off. If you say you're going to just go with the flow, experience shows that that flow is often flowing in the opposite direction to your expected outcomes. What will help you come up with an effective plan is, again, knowing your why. Are you taking this time off for professional growth and development? Do you want to build some new skills and then come back to what you were doing stronger? Are you taking time off to seek clarity for your next move, or to seek clarity for a completely new path and you need that time and that space for a smooth transition? Or are you taking time off to explore new things and passions that you have been putting off for a later time? You know, there is this guy, I'll put up his name if I remember it. I think he runs a New York design studio. In one of his TED Talks, he said, we spend 25 years of our lives, the first 25 years learning, and then we spend the next 40 working, and then we put off this 15 as extra time for retirement. And he said, will it not be beneficial if we take some of those retirement years and sprinkle them within the working years? Who knows if you're even going to get to that retirement age, or when you get there, you still have the same desires and passion, or even the energy to do the things that you have been putting off. So get out there and try new and exciting things. You know, exploring these passions have ended up paving a new and more fulfilling path for some people. Actually, during this break, I had pulled out like 2 things from my bucket list that I just wanted to do. But again, like I said, I was still battling in my mind if I should take the break or not. And so I came up with my why very late. I came up with my plan very late. So by the time I was ready to do certain things, I think I had already lost some time into my break time. But I'm planning to just make time. Just do something exciting. Or are you taking off time to recharge? This is one of the most popular reasons why people take time off, right? So you have to figure out, what can I do, you know, to recharge my whole being? You know, our body is so wise. It will always signal you. It gives you that notification. Your body will do it. Your mind will do it. Spiritually, you will feel it if you need to recharge. And we should not ignore that notification when it comes. So I got that notification everywhere that I needed it. Next, have a start and an end date. Without a start and end date, you may end up with a sabbatical that is longer or shorter than it should have been, and it may also be very difficult for you to come up with an effective plan. Having a start and an end date also helps you to prepare your way into the break and your way out of the break, the exit. You have to prepare for these 2 stages, because you cannot just wake up and jump into a sabbatical break, you know, overnight. You have to prepare your way in. How am I going to do with the kids, my job, my side hustle? You have to ask yourself all of those questions getting into the sabbatical. Let me tell you, any good thing is going to cost you. There is going to be a price to pay, you know, but we weigh benefits against, you know, that little price or that risk. And there is a great benefit to taking this time off, to taking this sabbatical, compared to the little inconveniences that you may have, but you still want to pay attention to them, prepare and plan for them before you get into, if not something that would have just been thought over and, you know, you consider and plan around, it can actually be the source of anxiety and stress while you're having your break time. You're constantly thinking of that. I did not really have a smooth transition into my break time for reasons I've already explained, but I did plan my way out. I knew that when I'm coming out of this break, let's say my YouTube channel would have been laying there dormant for months. What am I going to do to kind of just wake it up? And if some of you have noticed, I'm kind of uploading and posting things a little bit differently than I used to. Trust me, that is not me coming out of a break rested, energized, and I'm about to head down that path of a burnout again. No, that was thought out, that what am I going to do? I'm going to do things a little bit different within the first, second, third week, just like to wake things up. But I have in my mind the pace at which I want to work. And even when it comes to my home, my children, I do not want to leave from down here to the back to school stress and anxiety. And so I started to kind of change things gradually, change the routine, our sleep and wake up time, return the library books, and just gradually prepare for that different kind of rhythm that will happen after the break. And that's just a few of the different areas and things that I considered and planned to transition back into. So think about those things, set a start and an end date, and it will help you to have a smooth transition in and a smooth transition out. The last but one is, do not be in a rush to see results. You see, the rhythm with which your life is flowing right now did not happen overnight. It is, a sum of all the things you have been doing repeatedly, and it has become a habit. That's just the way you flow now. Even the things you say that you're not happy about. I'm not happy with the way I eat. I'm not happy with my sleep pattern. I'm not happy with my busy life. I'm not happy with this. I wish. But you do not realize that you have done it over and over to the point where it has become a habit, almost like you're addicted to it. And so when you just get into a break, your body's experiencing something almost like a withdrawal symptom, right? Like this is not how I'm used to doing things. And so it's going to fight you if you're not careful. That's why I said you should have a strong why, and that you should also have a plan. Because if you had just left everything to free flow and to chance, then you will get fearful, you'll get anxious, and you will just want to run back out of that sabbatical break and go back to your old way of doing things. We have been trained not to know what to do with ourselves if we're not performing. So if I'm going to leave from my high performance life into a sabbatical break, I better be performing, be doing something. If not, I don't know what to do with myself. I get anxious, I get fearful, I want to run back out of it. So you need time for your mind to adjust to this new rhythm before you begin to see results. If you see what I've explained so far, you see the importance of each stage and everything that I've asked you to consider, because there is the transitioning into your break. There is the beginning of the break where you are going to experience some unrest and some fightbacks. Then you have the middle of your break where you're going to experience some transformational things. And then you're easing your way out, the exit of this break, and you equally want a smooth transition. That is why it's important to consider all these things that I've shared with you here before you take a break. The last thing I would plead with you to consider, not just before your sabbatical, but during that break time, is consider slowing down. I know that this is one of those words that it's so difficult to use in the middle of talking about productivity and achieving our dreams. But yes, I am so big on us pursuing our purpose, from a place of balance, a holistic picture, a holistic approach. So you have to consider slowing down. Ask yourself, am I too fast? You don't want to be so fast that you brush through life and you do not even enjoy the experiences. Neither do you want to be so slow that things pass you by unnoticed. You want to bring yourself to that place where you are going at a pace that allows you to be totally present in the things that you are doing, because it's when you're fully present that you get a transformational experience and you are equally able to really impact lives in a way that those people can also experience some transformation. Those things cannot happen when you are in a hurry. As human beings, I understand that it's difficult to just find yourself on a certain lane and just stay in that lane. We will find ourselves swaying, sometimes to the super fast lane and sometimes to the super slow lane. But within a break time, take time to ask yourself, at what pace should I be going? Because it's relative. What could be a good pace for somebody, maybe slow for you, maybe fast for you. And at times, even you can have different pace in different seasons in your life or in different areas of your life. But I think that if you are paying attention, if you're giving equal dedication to different aspects of your life, then your eyes are going to open up to know those seasons, to know those areas in your life. When should this thing be, go a little faster? When should this go a little bit slower? Or when should this just be maintained where it is and let nobody talk me out of this pace? You have to be very intentional about it and go slow. Why I emphasize that slow down and have a pace is because if you just run, have a burnout, come and have a break or sabbatical or go on a vacation and then come back and go have a burnout, and it would be like these people who just go on a rigid diet for a month, lose weight, and then when they get out of that diet program, they just go back into a different kind of lifestyle and then they put the weight all back. What you are seeking is a lifestyle that keeps you healthy. Look for ways to put yourself in a place where you are walking from a place of rest. Slow down. And the question of the day: what are some of those things that you have done before, during, and after your break that has made that experience a lot sweeter, a lot better? Please do share that with us in the comment section below so that we can all learn from one another. And if you've watched up till this time, thank you so much. Do give me the thumbs up on your way out so that this video can be pushed out to many more people who would benefit from it. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. Come over and join this beautiful family of bloomers so that we can all continue on this growth journey to pursue our purpose with more clarity and balance. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next.